has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Hey guys, Malzo here again. Taking a look at Phelps on Immortals today. This game was really one of the only close games for the first day of VCS. It ended up going into overtime actually. And Phelps played pretty good. They did end up losing, but I wanted to cover Phelps because it's generally considered he's going to be moving to SK. You can even see the players joking about it in the chat. Well, I mean, it's not confirmed, but it's a pretty strong rumor that he's going to make his way to SK just because he is considered the best player on Immortals generally. And he has a pretty clean pistol round, shows some nice movement here. They do a super fast outside take. And you're going to see him line up, I think it's Sixer in sight a little bit, but I really think he's just clearing angles when he does it. I'll slow it down and we'll take another look, but he has a good pistol round here. Nice switch to the USP too. Pretty good round. So yeah, I wanted to slow this down just to take a look. But this could really just be him clearing the site. Yeah, I don't think that's anything. If it is something, I mean, you can make a really strong argument against it, so it's really not much to talk about in my opinion. I saw this round on the broadcast and I knew I wanted to include it from Phelps' perspective. Peeking NBK with the deagle. Here's the first gun round, which I pretty much always include. He starts off with a super nice nade on NBK. And I'll just fast forward a bit to get to the main part of the round, but he seems to have really good fundamentals. Like, you'll see him clear outside alone here, and he really does do a pretty good job clearing the whole thing. His crosshair's fast and pretty accurate to all the angles that he wants to peek. And I believe, oh no, his team doesn't flash for him, he just peeks out when the guy shoots. He gets a pretty easy kill. But all legit in round 4 for him. I didn't see anything that looked too funny. He gets a really nice kill in mid here, and he also lines up the guy in connector really well. I just wanted to show it because, you know, he's obviously not lining the guy up with a cheat here. He's lining up to peek the connector opening at mid, where the CT would be, and he has good crosshair placement, so it lands right on the guy. It's all good in the hood here. This is exactly what it should look like when you're peeking a guy and you have good crosshair placement. That's a great peek, and then he gets a nice follow-up kill. It was good stuff. So I saw this while watching the demo too, which is a pretty weird engagement. I know I do this a lot. Like if I shoot and then I hide behind a corner and I miss the guy, I'll just shake my mouse around. But I wanted to include this just to get more footage in here and talk about it anyways. It's one of those things that could be something, but it could definitely be nothing as well. I'll keep an eye on the offset, see if it's consistent throughout the game, but I think offsets can be randomized, which really upsets me. But you know, if he locks onto guys through walls to the right of them consistently, then we'll keep an eye on that. This is the second gunfight to Sixer that he loses identical to this. I just figured I'd throw it in there. It seemed like Sixer had his number all game. Phelps has had some really good crosshair placement all game so far, so I just wanted to put in another round that's a pretty good representation of that. Like after he kills that guy and flicks to the box to highway, I thought that was really nice. And shows, like, I don't know if you watched my Henny video, but like Henny's crosshair placement was pretty questionable and pretty soft, like not as crisp as this. Phelps is super fast. It doesn't look like much in slow motion, but I'll play it again at full speed. Like as soon as he kills the guy, he rips the highway and he's right on the corner. So that's really good stuff. I know it seems really average and normal, but to do that at that fast and that accurate, that's what makes him a pro, right? Here it is in full speed. This is the next gun round, and they show their smoke wall outside for the first time in this demo, which is always fun to see. And it's pretty interesting round for Phelps, I thought. Gets like almost doubled off there with the op shot. Goes down to like 35 health. Starts getting spammed, and then moves back to where he was getting spammed to die. So I grabbed this clip because when I first watched it, I thought it was weird. He didn't have any help out mid, and he doesn't peek connector mid at all. He just peeks right to the box. So I figured I'd take a look and slow it down, but you can see in the replay, like Apex is clearly running around and making a lot of noise. And it's a pretty quiet part of the round. Phelps definitely would have heard that. That's why he just doesn't peek mid connector at all and just swings out right to the box and gets the kill. So nothing going on here. It's all good. I just really liked this engagement, so I just threw it in there. I thought it was pretty cool. Doesn't pay off for him. So anyways, pistol round, CT side. This is a long round, but I'll just throw it all in there, just like I normally do. It's a relatively close game. I mean, not amazingly close, but he's a fucking Glock shot there. Jesus. So yeah, the pistol round's obviously really important, especially if somebody is cheating. There's pretty high likelihood that something would happen in the pistol round for them to try and increase their advantage in the game. So let me know if you guys see anything in this round. Personally, I didn't, but pistol round and early gun rounds and high leverage rounds, I like to get a big chunk of them in, get more eyes on them. If you guys see anything, you can let me know in the comments as usual. So far, I've liked halfway through this demo. I've liked watching Phelps actually. He's a pretty good guy to watch. Like his crosshair placement is amazing. Most of the time, seems to. He's got a fucking sick reaction time too. He made a couple really nice shots like that tap at mid there, where he killed the guy with 2 bursts. Thought that was really nice. Had a few good moments for sure. Can see why SK want to bring him up to the show, right? That'll do it. Alright, early gun round, second half. And this fucking buddy just gets sprayed through the smoke by NBK. From full health to 0, which I thought was pretty funny. So he grabs the M4 and goes back to the box. And there's a scene coming up in this round where he adjusts his spray while spraying through the smoke, which is something I'm always on the lookout for. But in this case, it's obvious he's just adjusting his aim to where the tracers come out of the smoke. So it's all legit. It's just a good play. And you'll see once the smoke goes down here, he'll start spraying into it. NBK will spray back at him. And then he'll adjust his spray to more accurately go towards the tracers right there. So I'll slow it down so you get a better look, but this is all A-okay in my books. Alright, in the next spray you'll see he adjusts to where the tracer came out and it goes right on him. So that's exactly how you would spray a smoke normally. Nothing wrong here. This is a round showing some pretty good game sense from Phelps. Well, I guess it's not amazing, but I always like seeing guys looking above smokes, you know, not just looking to the side of them. And he gets rewarded. A guy walks right into his crosshair. I thought that was a pretty good play. His crosshair kind of jerks a little bit after the spray, so I wanted to take a closer look at that. I'll slow that down. I got a couple spots I want to talk about in this round, actually. But you're going to see, after his spray on the guy that's, fuck, I don't even know what to call that spot. Anyways, walking on the awning, whatever. He kind of jerks his crosshair around with the second guy, and I slowed it down lots, but it doesn't, you know, he definitely doesn't lock onto him or anything. He very well could just be whipping his mouse to the side really hard to turn from the flash that's coming in. So it's pretty inconclusive. This one, I was pretty uncomfortable watching. It's one of those times where a guy just turns his crosshair for no reason. There's no flashbang going off. If it is an aim lock, which it very well may not be, it throws out my theory of a guy you know, locking onto the same spot throughout a game. Because you remember earlier he locked to the right of the player model. So this could definitely be nothing. It's just one of those times where a guy turns really hard, and I didn't really see a reason for him to do it. There was no flashbang to dodge or anything like that. So I just showed it to you guys. More late gun rounds for Phelps here. Envious accidentally double smoking mid, and there's still a gap in it. Like, the fucking guy's gotta get their smokes down. But Phelps shows he still cannot win a gunfight at Vents. Phelps has a really good round here, so I had to include this one. Same thing as the rest of the demo, though. I don't think there's anything going on here. 14-14, and he just gets the world's sneakiest flank on. He flanked up through mid. Then came Squeaky, and they do not fucking expect it at all. So yeah, so far so good for Phelps. Like, everything looks really good to me. I haven't seen anything aim lock wise, that's for sure. You know, anything else is a lot harder to detect. Had a couple weird spots, but nothing out of the ordinary in my opinion. So far so good. Phelps has another high impact round here when they try and take A with him at fork. So I figured I'd put it in. He goes through the smoke and gets 2 and then kills the bomb planter. It's a good round from him. I didn't see anything in it. Let me know if you guys did. That's why I include them. Phelps showing again. He still cannot win a fight at Vent. I threw this round in. It's obviously overtime, gun rounds, pretty much every round. And you can clearly see he doesn't have any extra knowledge of where they are in sight. He's really good at clearing the spots. He's even clears the boost really quick. And you could tell this round looks 100% legit from him. Alright, made it to the last round here. Phelps really had a pretty low impact over time, so I was able to skip a lot of the clips. A lot of them he just runs out, fucking dies, and that's the end of it. So yeah, I figured I'd show this whole round in full just to take another look. I didn't see anything in it again. I went through it a couple times, and it looked pretty good unless you're going to start getting real tinfoil hat speculation type stuff, you know. Anyways, I like doing Phelps. I really had never watched him much in the past. I usually watch the North American teams. Like, I know the North American teams a lot better than the Brazilian teams. But I knew he was good, and Kenny S just goes off there and wins them the fucking game. But I knew he was good, but I wasn't sure what I was going to see. Like, I knew when I watched Henny, I knew he was good, but he had like terrible crosshair placement and didn't seem to have great mechanics. Like, when you watch Phelps, he's got really good mechanics and really does clear a lot of ground quickly, kind of like Shocks. I found Shocks would like go into an area on his own and clear the area really quickly, all on his own. Phelps was kind of like that as well. So I could definitely see why SK want to pick him up, and you could tell, or you could see why he's considered the best player on Immortals. In terms of crosshair placement and movement around the map, he definitely stands out. And I didn't see anything going through this demo. Once again, I like to do 3 demos on each guy, but this demo looked really legit. The only parts that I even had to slow down and kind of take another look at was really just me speculating on kind of what could be going on. So it's definitely good when you go through a demo and you only have a couple moments where someone reviewing it could, you know, all they're doing is speculating. So I definitely do expect, like, we do not see as many aim locks as we used to, for sure. So in these demos, when I look at them, I have to kind of be with the attitude that the crosshair's not going to directly lock on someone behind the wall. So that makes it a lot harder to look at, but there's still ways to figure out if they're getting help. If they do something, if, you know, say they lock within 2 feet of the guy or whatever, and then they play the round out with the knowledge, or seemingly with knowledge that they shouldn't have, then that's one way we can still make these demo reviews useful, even if they aren't locking directly onto people. Of course, the battle to try and convince people that things are going on is going to be even harder. At least when people were locking on directly to someone's head or whatever through walls, then the argument was much easier to make that there is cheating in the scene. But for Phelps against Envy on LAN, this looked really good. And yeah, maybe the next demo I do for him, he'll be playing for SK. Alright, see you guys.